Parliament's Ad Hoc Committee, which is probing allegations of criminal infiltration in the justice system, is continuing today. It's after Sullivan dramatically walked out on MPs before concluding his testimony last week. In fact, we're anticipating MPs to get some kind of legal advice about the way forward. They're currently meeting virtually today. Let's listen in.
6A of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, read with Section 14(2)B of the Powers and Privileges Act. The Powers and Privileges Act requires that a summons must be issued by the Secretary to Parliament on the instructions of the chairperson of the committee concerned, acting in accordance with a resolution of the committee and with the concurrence of the Speaker of the National Assembly. Chairperson, you will recall that on Thursday, the 27th of February 2026, you had taken the committee into confidence by sharing details of a briefing we had with the Speaker of the National Assembly, and which took place on the same day and at the Speaker's instance. All I can say is that the Speaker, as the issuing authority insofar as the summons procedure is concerned, is briefed in this regard. The Speaker indicated that she is at the service of the committee and will act as soon as she is formally briefed about what the committee has resolved in this regard. Chairperson, to this end, I can also confirm that a request for concurrence has been prepared for signature by both the chairperson of the committee and the Speaker, should Mr. Sullivan not comply with the committee's invitation. Chairperson, please allow me to rest. I thank you. Over to you, Ms. Halistaki.
Thank you, Mr. Tichana. Morning, Chairperson. Good morning, honourable members. I will take the committee through the legal opinion drafted by the Constitutional and Legal Services Office concerning the incident that took place on Thursday, 26 February, involving Mr. Sullivan, while being led by our Junior Counsel Advocate Mkhize. Members, as the chairperson pointed out, you have all received the legal opinion. It was circulated to the chairperson on Friday at 8 p.m. I will therefore confine my remarks to a concise executive summary, and with your permission, chairperson, I'm confident that the members have an opportunity to have considered the opinion in full. So this will be really brief. By way of background, members, you will recall that during the examination of Mr. Sullivan, he became really agitated and repeatedly indicated that he needed to leave the hearing by 1 to avoid missing a flight. And despite the request from the chairperson and members to remain seated and complete his testimony, he stood up and left the proceedings. The central question, therefore, is twofold, honourable members. What are the remedies available to this committee to compel Mr. O'Sullivan to complete his examination? And secondly, does his conduct constitute an offence or a contempt of Parliament? The legal opinion that members have received analyses the applicable regulatory framework, including the relevant rules of the National Assembly, the applicable provisions of the Constitution, and 4 pertinent sections of the Powers and Privileges Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act, the PIPLA. Members are aware that the National Assembly Rule 183 requires any person appearing before the committee, including counsel and attorneys, to observe the directions of and conform to the procedures determined by the chairperson. Further, members are aware that Section 56A of the Constitution empowers the National Assembly or any of its committees to summons any person to appear before to give it evidence. The key issue for legal clarity is what are the provisions in the PIPLA which are applicable to the present facts. If members will indulge me, I'll briefly address the relevant sections and their applicability. So let's first go through the provisions that aren't applicable in this instance. So members, 17(1)A provides that a person who has been duly summoned in terms of Section 14 must remain in attendance until excused, failing which an offence has been committed. As Mr. Sullivan was invited and not formally summoned, this section does therefore not apply. If we move on to Section 13, Section 13, read with 12, deals with the contempt of Parliament by a member who contravenes specified provisions of the Act. As Mr. O'Sullivan is not a member of Parliament, this provision is likewise inapplicable. However, if we proceed to Section 7A of the PIPLA, 7A of the PIPLA is of particular relevance. It provides that a person may not improperly interfere with or impede the exercise or performance by Parliament, a House or committee of its authority or functions. And then if we look at Section 27, it stipulates that the contravention of Section 7 constitutes an offence, attracting liability to a fine or imprisonment. So, honourable members, on a plain and grammatical interpretation of the term impede, it denotes conduct that is obstructs or hinders the progression of Parliament's work. In leaving the proceedings prematurely, Mr. O'Sullivan's actions may reasonably be construed as interfering with or impeding the committee in the execution of its mandate. Honourable members, the committee's terms of reference require it to assess the veracity of allegations advanced by various witnesses, including that of Mr. O'Sullivan, whose evidence was material, particularly in relation to allegations of political interference in police operations. His departure before completing his examination therefore hampered the committee's ability to discharge of its functions in terms of the terms of reference. Additionally, honourable members, if you consider 17(1)(c)(1), 1C1 of the PIPLA, it provides that a person who fails without sufficient cause to answer fully and satisfactorily any questions lawfully put to them commits an offence. Therefore, members, given that Mr. O'Sullivan left while under examination and without the permission of the chairperson, this provision may also be engaged. In conclusion, based on the analysis set out in the legal opinion before this committee, the Constitutional Legal Service Officers is of the view that Mr. O'Sullivan has potentially committed a statutory offence in terms of Section 7A, read with 27 of the PIPLA. Furthermore, Mr. O'Sullivan has potentially committed a statutory offence in terms of 17(1)(c)(1) of the PIPLA. The committee is at liberty to invoke its summoning power, as Mr. Techana has explained, enshrined in both the Constitution and the PIPLA and the National Assembly rules, and is advised to write to Mr. Sullivan detailing the recourse as set out above. However, this committee on the 26th of February resolved to invite Mr. O'Sullivan to return to Parliament. That said, the committee is firmly within its rights to invoke any of the above-mentioned legal remedies should Mr. O'Sullivan not comply with the committee's invitation to return to Parliament. Thank you, honourable members.
Okay, Advocate Aransa.
Good morning, Honourable Chair, Honourable members and my colleagues, and thank you, Ms. Ali and Mr. Techana for the presentation of the opinion. I have nothing to add. I concur. In relation to Mr. O'Sullivan himself, he has confirmed that he will be in attendance on Thursday. One, to conclude the questioning by Advocate Mkhize. I think she had 2 or 3 questions left. And then, of course, to deal with the matter that's just been addressed. I'm not sure which one, obviously, within your discretion, which one you deal with first. Otherwise, in relation to if someone can just flight the witness or the proposed witness schedule, if I could go through that, Honourable Chair, honourable members.
Advocate Aransa.
Yes, I was requesting someone to flight the proposed witness schedule for this week and next week, because I'm not able to do it from my end.
Okay, I think we must. Okay, no, it's fine. I wanted to say that, but it's a matter which I think members will raise during discussions. Let's have Mr. Paulo Sullivan coming, like we advised him to come this week, and the committee will engage with him when he comes, whether it's a full day or it's 5 hours. Let him come. I don't think he's coming specifically for Advocate Mkhize, because committee members may have issues that they want to raise with him. So let's just say when he comes, it must be for Thursday.
Yes, Honourable Chair, did indicate it's subject to your discretion and the committee members.
Thank you so much for your efforts.
From our side, we had those few questions left. Just in relation to the schedule, tomorrow we have Lieutenant General Moshakiri and General Sentumule. Lieutenant General Moshakiri will appear. A statement has been made available to the honourable committee members for some time now. General Sentumule, however, will not be able to appear and has formally apologized and requested permission not to appear tomorrow due to a medical incident that arose on the weekend. I think it was on Sunday, when my colleague Advocate Mkhize was in the process of conferring with her. The documents have been sent to Mr. Romano by Major General Van Rooyen, the legal person in the National Commissioner's office, and we have no doubt that it's a genuine case. It's an older son of hers who was hospitalized on Sunday. So we would respectfully request that she be excused from attending tomorrow. But we have indicated to Mr. Romano, and hopefully it will be condoned and accepted by the Honourable Committee, that she appears on Friday. On Friday, we had scheduled some public participation witnesses, that the public participation witnesses scheduled on this draft for the 4th of March, that's Wednesday, Mafoho and Chetty, and then perhaps the ones mentioned on Friday, Rapoto and Ramajua, that they be moved to tomorrow afternoon. Obviously, it's not easy to predict what time it will take, but we do not expect Lieutenant General Moshakili to be that long. Certainly from our side, you may recall that her attendance was required because she served as the acting National Commissioner for a brief period when General Masemola was on leave, and the directive from Minister Mchunu was brought to her attention on and after 31 December of 2024. So that's Friday. So we would propose that for tomorrow we have Lieutenant General Moshakili and the public participation witnesses. We have been in touch with Mr. Romano in terms of securing the attendance of these witnesses, whatever travel arrangements have to be made. Then for Wednesday, we propose a swap that Mr. Mashuga testifies first, and if we could perhaps make a 10 o'clock start. Mr. Mashuga might be quite long because he was the prosecutor in the matter against Trent and O'Sullivan. That's the matter that was removed from the roll, although he's no longer in the NPA, he has indicated that he wishes to testify. His statement is near ready, and in fact, I want to ask to be excused from the meeting. Advocate Mkhize will continue to represent the team so that I can finalize Mr. Mashuga's affidavit during the course of this morning. Mr. Adams will follow with your leave. His affidavit is near ready, and Advocate Mogoetsi is liaising with him. Then on Thursday, we will kick off with Mr. O'Sullivan, to be followed by Sarah Jane Trent, whose affidavit also is near ready, and Advocate Mkhize is dealing with her in that regard. If we could move to the following week. On Tuesday, we have the suspended Inspector General of Intelligence scheduled. He has, according to his counsel that I'm liaising with, he has indicated to the President and to the relevant minister that he's been required by this honourable committee to appear on the 10th. He wishes to appear. So there's still some interaction between him and the President and the relevant minister. And we'll keep you informed, Honourable Chair. And then on the next day, we have Lieutenant General Vuma, whose statement, I think, has been sent already. I think it's finalized. And then we end off on the 12th and the 13th with the National Commissioner, General Masemola, and Lieutenant General Mkonazi on the Thursday and the Friday. Thank you, Chair. While I have the floor, the only thing that I wanted to ask was a request which I have made on a few occasions with Mr. Tetiana, is that given that we are, according to the schedule anyway, only concluding our evidence on the 13th, that's Friday, and given that we still haven't received all the transcripts of all the witnesses, I have asked that that the assistance of our colleague Lerato Sikalala, Advocate Sikalala, who had been on our team up until the end of last year, to assist us with the summarizing the evidence. She was also on our team during a crucial first phase of this hearing, when General Mkonazi, General Masemola, some key witnesses, the suspended minister, Mr. Matlala, and others all appeared, and it would be most useful to have her assistance. Her assistance would be limited to a number of days that she's able to set aside to assist. But I've been told that it would require Chair, you and the Honourable Committee to support such a recommendation, which will then go through to the Speaker, who will then authorise the State Attorney to secure her for that limited period and that limited role. Thank you, Chair. I can take any questions. Otherwise, that's our presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just to make one point clear, Advocate, tomorrow, because by now we all know that the statement of General Msikiti is very short. Are we able to get, because Bonani has suggested to me that if you were to get some of the public participation witnesses available, they may come tomorrow. Is that what you are also presenting here?
Yes, Honourable Chair.
Okay. Are we succeeding in that regard?
I think Mr. Romano can perhaps speak, Honourable Chair, but we have been liaising with him.
Yeah, so that when members go into discussions, they know that part one tomorrow is going to be General Msikiti, and thereafter we will have one or two witnesses from public participation if they would have confirmed. And so if they have not confirmed, members must know that they may have a short day tomorrow. Mr. Romano, do you have anything?
Yes, Chair. Maybe just to confirm that I had a discussion with Advocate Mkhize this morning, but the discussion was around public participation witnesses scheduled for Wednesday and not including Friday. I am in contact with Mr. Chedi and Mr. Mapo for them to appear before tomorrow. So far, Mr. Mapo seems to be able to appear before the committee tomorrow. Mr. Chedi might have a challenge for tomorrow. With regards to witnesses scheduled for Friday, I can confirm that it will be difficult to get some of them here tomorrow. For instance, one of them is in Lesotho, so it will be a challenge to get from Lesotho today or tomorrow for that appearance. We will try and see if we can get more for tomorrow, but for now, I can confirm that Mr. Mapo will join us. Thank you.
Okay, so now on the schedule, you are presenting the proposal that members must endorse or ratify the appearance of General Msikiti and Mapo tomorrow.
Chair, that's correct. But should we be able to secure another witness for tomorrow, we will keep the committee informed.
Okay. And then for Friday, how many witnesses will be there on Friday? Because all of us by now, we know that Friday afternoons are very, very difficult for the committee. The witnesses that are coming on Friday, are we able to have them and deal with the business of the day before 1, 2, or 3 o'clock on Friday?
Chairperson, with regards to Friday, there are 2 witnesses who have submitted a statement yesterday.
All right, we've been listening there to a virtual sitting of the Ad Hoc Committee, which is investigating claims of corruption within the SAPS, and a few important details coming out of that housekeeping meeting, as we call it. One of those is the breaking news on the side of your screen there. Paulo Sullivan, we're told, will be back before this particular committee on Thursday. This is after his dramatic walkout, shall we call it, last week, where he simply took his bag and said he had a flight to catch, leaving MPs stunned. Since then, the EFF has opened a criminal case against him, but what we had anticipated today was some kind of legal advice from Parliament about how the committee can move going forward, given just how unprecedented that moment was. And in fact, the legal advisors have found that, in fact, Paulo Sullivan did potentially commit an offence. I want to get the exact wording for you around the statutes that were used. He's potentially committed a statutory offence by walking out because, in layman's terms, he has impeded on the ability of MPs to do their work. The evidence leader coming out, though, in this meeting to say that after they had suggested to Paulo Sullivan that he comes on Thursday, the man at the centre of this drama has now agreed to do exactly that. So we'll keep a very close eye on that for you as it continues to unfold. Before then, we are likely to hear from Tebogo Musikiri, who's part of Nat Joins, in fact, the Deputy Commissioner for Policing. She's going to be before MPs tomorrow to answer questions around what she knew and what she didn't know. Tebello Musikiri, I beg your pardon, expected before MPs tomorrow.